Hey buddy, do you feel more confident when you see the level of your enemy? Maybe you just love the colorful and shiny status and damage indicators. I mean, I'm not blaming you. Basically, I'm talking about any kind of colorful immersion breaking trash similar to what you can see now on the screen. Well, if the answer is yes, then feel free to turn off this video and go back playing Fortnite or whatever you prefer. But as for me, I'm too old for that. The target audience of this review is anyone who likes to play video games on the hardest difficulty settings, with minimum or no interface at all. But for everything else, stick with IGN, mainly because their reviews are just more complete, while I'm focusing from the perspective of skill-dependent hardcore and immersion, and might miss some details that for many of you could be important, like that you can choose from 6 different characters or that you can do co-op with 2 friends. Look, I love zombie games and was really excited to play Dead Island 2, but after seeing some reviews with this overloaded interface, it almost ended up in a not even wanna try list, like Wolfenstein and Youngblood. The amazing flash system that simulates the damage to human body convinced me to give it a try, and my only hope was the possibility to turn off some interface elements, but I was not sure since nobody mentioned that in their reviews. This gave me the idea of trying to create my own type of review and focus more on the hardcore aspects and immersion, and share how does it feel to play the game without the interface. Looks like everyone is fine with this dumb tendency of having indicators for everything, but me not. In my opinion, it can be useful for people with physical disabilities, so it's cool that the indicators are available for them, but what's the point of having them enabled by default? Because there is no need to see this to understand that you applied electroshock. Please write me in the comments what do you think about it. If I'm wrong, let me know why. If you hate me because I dislike Fortnite and used it as an example, also let me know. Luckily, the interface in Dead Island 2 is really flexible and you can disable whatever is annoying you. Disabling the enemy health bar just adds another layer of immersion when sometimes you are not sure if the zombie will stand up again, so it just makes the game better. Also, you don't need your own health bar cause the screen is turning red when you got hurt badly. Your weapon visually looks damaged when it's going to break soon. Unfortunately, there are no difficulty settings, so closer to endgame you can get a bit bored from the lack of challenge. But to be fair, if we compare it with Dying Light 2, that game was also somehow too easy in the endgame, even on the hardest difficulty. But probably it is something individual for everyone, and Dead Island 2 still can catch you off guard if you get too self-confident. I haven't noticed any penalty from dying. Maybe you losing some money but not sure if there are any consequences at all. Let me know in the comments. Oh yes, and in Dead Island 2 the protagonist is way less agile than in Dying Light 2, but I guess that won't be a surprise to anyone. Let's talk about guns. They exist. They can be upgraded just as melee weapons. On PS5 you even get the fancy trigger effect, but overall they are not too satisfying. Sometimes they work, sometimes it just feels that you are shooting some kind of Nerf gun. So here's gameplay footage that can help you feel out what I'm talking about. Let's crunch. There are different sorts of throwing items as well, like grenades, molotovs and so on. They recharge over time and you can use them again. The skill tree is a card deck where you collect and use different cards to unlock new passive and active abilities, like for example the Fury mode. I was quite skeptical about it, but in fact it isn't really different from any skill tree where you can reinvest your skill points for free at any time. The graphics on PS5 are crisp and beautiful if you not look into the mirror. Oh look, I cannot see myself. This mirror is horrible. It's like this game from the 90s. Even then the mirrors were better. The story is pretty generic, but the characters and dialogues are funny.
You know you do. I'm immune!
Fine, you can stay.
If I would have to rate Dead Island 2, it would probably receive around 8.5 out of 10. Not too challenging, a little bit repetitive, more or less immersive without interface, but funny and satisfying. If you like games about zombie apocalypse, then you should definitely try it out. If you enjoyed my mumbling, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Oh yeah, and please don't forget to write your comment about how much you hate me, because I would not waste my time playing Fortnite even if I would get paid for that.